Hello, I'm Alessandro, your astronomer next door. Welcome back to Boring Astronomy. Today, in Basics, we're going to speak about constellations.
Boring astronomy.
Looking at the night sky can be overwhelming and it can be difficult to locate yourself and identify a sky object or a sky region just by looking up. This is a program that is called Stellarium, and it is very useful to simulate what is going to be on top of your head at any given time from any place on Earth. And if you don't have much familiarity with the night sky, it can be very difficult to tell what star is which star. Astronomers over the course of the years have been referring to stars and referring to sky area, and also in many cases the human ability to identify patterns has been used to identify groups of stars which perhaps looked like something. So over the course of the years and over the course of the millennia, different cultures have developed their names for either stars or groups of stars, and eventually creating groups of stars which we refer to as constellations. It is important to notice that different cultures may refer to the same or to similar sky areas in different ways. An example might be that the people from the Andes, instead of using stars, they were actually using the dark clouds in the Milky Way, and they would identify those dark clouds as some animals. A very famous one is the llama that they would see towards the galactic center, where one of the eyes was what for us is Alpha Centauri. More famously, in the Greek mythology and later inherited by the Roman mythology, the constellations were related to myths, and those legends and mythology has been moved on through our culture, the Western culture. There are 12 constellations which are specifically famous, and those are the constellations of the zodiac. That is the constellations through which the sun apparently moves in the sky with respect to Earth. And those are the constellations that many people find out because of the horoscope. I will not start a rant against astrology. From my perspective, if someone knows that the sun is in Sagittarius in December because he or she is born in December and therefore knows that his or her sign is Sagittarius, I'm happy. This is already a beginning. This is already a way to start moving towards astronomy. And for free, you get to know already 12 constellations. In modern astronomy, we have 88 constellations. This was defined like this by the International Astronomical Union. The International Astronomical Union is the only international organization which has the mandate and has the possibility to give names to stellar objects, to astronomical objects. So there's no other organization which can name objects or define objects in the sky. This is the job of the International Astronomical Union. In 1928, the International Astronomical Union approved a report by Eugène Delporte about the limits of the 88 constellations. I insist the constellations are sky areas, sky regions. They don't have, in most cases, they don't have any physical connection between the various stars. Some stars may be double, some stars may be in groups, but in general, a constellation is literally a sky area. You can imagine it like a region, literally. In your country, you split it in regions, like administrative blocks, and each of them, you use it to say, this thing is in this region. Let's look at the sky over my head now. So I'm located in Spain, and it's almost 8 p.m. And this is the sky as it looks. And if I were an astronomer of the 1600, I would probably have this kind of picture. So showing maybe I could show the names, right? Constellation labels. So it would give me the beautiful pictures of the various constellations, like the Small Bear, the Big Bear, the Twins, Orion, the Whale. So I would see all those beautiful things, and but in fact, obviously you don't have those, and many people actually prefer to use these lines as references for constellations. Orion looks like a hunter with his bow and with a sword hanging from his belt. Gemini look like the two twins. But frankly, the small dog really doesn't look like a small dog. The big bear and the small bear, nah, sorry. But the important thing is, and why constellations are actually useful, is because instead of this is how constellations look like to the eye of an astronomer. As I said, those are sky regions. So I can just know, and this is all I care for. I just care to know that this sky area corresponds to Perseus. This one is Auriga, this one is Taurus. And it's just practical. Instead of using the coordinates, which in some cases can be more or less quick, you just split the sky in 88 regions, and you just go along with those. Let me insist that the constellations have been standardized in 1928. They have mainly a practical purpose, and no, you cannot discover a new constellation. If you see a bunch of stars together, you cannot claim that you have discovered one. If you want to make a claim, you have to go to the International Astronomical Union and say, I believe I have discovered this. Can you make it official? And the International Astronomical Union has to go through a whole process of granting you the discovery, which may or may not happen. Constellations are useful, constellations are practical. Not all constellations have the same size, as you can sort of see here. Canis Minor is significantly smaller, for example, than Cetus. In the case of variable stars, many variable stars are named after the constellation where they are found. In many big projects nowadays, the name of the constellation is just not used at all, but the constellations still hold some very interesting use for us astronomers to locate some objects. Most importantly, they're very, very useful backwards to make sure that we can identify some historical records. And when I say historical records, can be easily from 100 years. I hope you enjoyed the constellations. Eventually, we'll speak about astronomical coordinates. Things will get even more interesting there. If you have your favorite constellation, say it in the comments. Keep watching the videos, subscribe to the channel. Talk to you next time. Ciao.